Have you ever had an itchy, scratchy throat and gone to your doctor's office and they stuck one of these down to the back of your throat? And have you wondered to yourself, what are they going to do with that? Where do they take that thing after I leave? Well, today I hope to demonstrate for you part of the process of culturing bacteria. It involves a few supplies, which we'll talk about, and the main takeaway I want you to have from today is how to properly isolate bacterial colonies that make it easier to determine what kind of infection you have. This is important to me because when I started doing it about 2 years ago, I might not have had the best technique at first, so some of the plates could have been a little more difficult to read than they otherwise would have been with the proper technique. So, to get you started, you'll need a couple of supplies. First and foremost, gloves, because any kind of personal protective equipment like that is of course important to prevent you from contaminating other surfaces once you're done working with the bacteria. Next, you will need a sterile loop, such as this. This is a tool we use to streak bacteria. It's sterilized in an autoclave for a few seconds before use. You'll, of course, need agar plates. In this case, since we're testing for strep, you'll need first a blood agar and then a strep selective agar. And the strep selective agar are really cool because they help to prevent the growth of other kinds of bacteria such as staph, which look very similar to strep when you're reading the plate. And of course, lastly, you'll need your specimen. So to get started, you'll want to take your specimen and take your plate and go in a little semicircle about 1/5 the way down. And you'll want to swipe it back and forth a few times till you're about 1/5 the way down. Next, you will need to take your loop, and this is the important part. You go into the bacteria only about 2 or 3 times, 4 at the most. 1, 2, 3, and then you streak it out perpendicularly to that first area. We call this area, the first one you applied, the area of heaviest concentration, and the idea here is we're making it lighter and lighter and lighter as we go. We're going to make 4 quadrants total. So I'm going to do the next 2 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, and once again, 1, 2, 3. Now we have our 4 quadrants, and in this last area, there'll be very little concentration, so if anything ends up growing there, the microbiologist will be able to easily pick it out and do several different diagnostic tests on it. So after you've completed your culture and it's set up and ready to grow, you have to determine what kind of incubator it should go in. In this case, bacteria likes to be kept warm, kind of like chicken eggs, so it has to incubate. There are oxygen-rich and oxygen-poor incubators. This type of bacteria, Streptococcus, can grow in either environment, and these would probably do best in a CO2 or anaerobic incubator, because that further helps prevent other throat flora from growing and other types of bacteria that we're not testing for. And after that, you let it grow overnight, about 24 hours if you can, and then several different diagnostic tests are done, and yeah, that's about it. In conclusion, I hope now you know what happens to this swab after you leave the doctor's office. If you are interested in doing anything like this, there are bacterial growing kits on Amazon and on Walmart's website. There are some that even you can make your own agar that are very cool. And anyway, I just hope that I can help teach people a little bit about this process. All right, thank you very much. Have a good day.